Hazing as intellectual punishment. Welcome back. I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is The Great Series, where we discuss the greatest minds to ever live and what it means to be intellectually gifted. Public humiliation has long been a tool of control. From the scarlet letters sewn onto women's clothing in Puritan New England to the dunce caps forced onto children in 19th century classrooms, societies have relied on ritualized shaming to regulate behavior. While the forms have changed, the function has not. Branding, ridicule, and exclusion are used to discipline anyone who threatens the order of the group. For those with unusual minds, the inventors, artists, and visionaries, the punishment has rarely been physical. It has been psychological. The intellectual misfit is hazed not with whips, but with words, not with stocks in the town square, but with labels designed to mark them as defective. Crazy, obsessive, mentally ill, doesn't fit in. Each phrase is a modern version of chalkboards scrawled with insults, police tape wrapped around the mind, fingers pointing in accusation. Historical rituals of shame. The Scarlet Letter, 1640s New England. Women accused of adultery were forced to wear the embroidered A on their chest, serving as a permanent badge of exclusion. The dunce cap, 18th–19th century. Children labeled slow or disobedient were made to sit in the corner with a tall pointed hat, a practice meant to humiliate them into conformity. Stocks and pillories, medieval Europe. Offenders were locked in wooden frames in public squares where citizens could jeer, spit, or throw refuse. Each ritual was less about correction and more about deterrence. By making one person the spectacle, society warned everyone else, do not deviate, or you will become the next example. The modern equivalent. Today, we no longer nail people into stocks or force them to wear letters on their chest, but the intellectual outsider is still hazed. Diagnostic overreach turns unconventional thinking into pathology. A child who questions too much is labeled disruptive. A teen who hyperfocuses on one subject is diagnosed as obsessive. An adult who resists small talk and social conventions is branded antisocial or mentally unwell. In workplaces and universities, subtle hazing continues through whisper campaigns, performance reviews coded with bias, or concern framed as clinical observation. The chalkboard is digital now. Reddit threads mocking eccentric professors, viral TikToks ridiculing awkward geniuses, memes depicting billionaires as lunatics. What once was a dunce cap is now a Twitter pylon. Why intellectual punishment persists. The purpose of hazing is to enforce conformity. Societies operate on consensus. Anyone who questions that consensus destabilizes the group. Visionaries are dangerous not because of violence, but because they expose flaws in the system, invent alternatives, or imagine futures that undermine present hierarchies. By shaming the individual, society hopes to extinguish the threat without addressing the problem. But history shows that hazing rarely erases genius. It only delays recognition. Galileo was mocked and placed under house arrest. Tesla died broke, dismissed as a madman. Van Gogh sold only one painting in his lifetime. Yet their persecutors are forgotten, while their names endure. The chalkboard and the police tape. The imagery of chalkboards, police tape, and pointing fingers captures the continuity of this tradition. The chalkboard, where a student is singled out and made to write lines until their individuality is erased. The police tape, a symbol of containment declaring that a mind is a crime scene. The pointing fingers, a ritual older than language, the collective gesture that says, you are outside the circle. Each symbol carries the same message across centuries. You are marked, not for your failure, but for your difference. Hazing as intellectual punishment is not a relic of the past. It is alive in every dismissive diagnosis, every caricature of eccentricity, every social ritual that ridicules rather than recognizes. The genius does not suffer stocks or letters, but the effect is identical: exclusion, alienation, exile. Yet if history proves anything, it is that the crown of innovation is always first worn as the cap of humiliation.